Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Lawrence King with Building Top Agents. Another day. This is the week of Mother's Day. And today I have my guest, Jennifer Tucker. Jennifer, welcome to the show.
Hey, Lawrence, thank you so much. It's great to be here talking to you. Yeah, Mother's Day coming up.
Mother's Day, Mother's Day. We got any plans for Mother's Day this weekend?
No, it's going to be quiet for us here. Just local small family.
Okay. So basically, here on Building Top Agents, we interview different guests regarding that's involved in real estate, whether it be commercial, residential, or just as a realtor in general. And today I have Jennifer Tucker. Jennifer, tell us who Jennifer Tucker is as a mother, as a real estate agent, possible investor. Tell us who you are.
Sure, Lawrence. Let's see. I am, as most mothers are, I think a little bit of everything and do it all. Forgive me for my background. Yeah, I'm a little bit of everything. Let's see. My real estate career really didn't start until after I was a mom. I was an educator prior to that and got into real estate because my mom was actually a realtor. Right now we're going to have 3 generations of realtors coming into my family as my daughter's at 18 is about to take the exam. So yeah, I know it's really good stuff. So as a mom, it becomes I don't know, like everyone says, that balance, that work-life balance. But I don't even know what a work-life balance is because real estate is just go, go, go for the most of the time. I think things started to change for me as a mom, as I became a single parent after that kind of situation in my life. And I really got into real estate very deep and hard and really understood it. I love the hand-holding, the nurturing that moms kind of bring to the table as realtors to help like new buyers, especially new buyers, find their dream home and what they're looking for in a house. And then it obviously flourishes into you becoming more of a listing agent and then into the investor part. And that's where my family gets even bigger because I meet my now current husband and he has 3 children and we're blended together and we run our family life. Our businesses are all blended together in our family. So mom life is no different than real estate life.
Just hectic.
Well, it's hectic, but it's a good hectic. It's like, all our kids are involved in every aspect of it. As I said, my daughter's getting her real estate license. Our younger daughter is more on the fashion and maybe, staging kind of aspect of it. She really likes that part of it. And then the boys are just younger, so they just want hammer and nails and stuff right now.
Just to go to work.
Exactly.
So, let me ask you this. So you've been in the business for how long again?
12 years.
12 years. Okay, so over a decade. So you've been in the business for 12 years. What are some of your like the greatest successes you've had in real estate in those 12 years? Like, give me one big success that you've had. Because I know you have plenty, but give us one.
To break it down to one transaction or 1 year that was, my most producing income, I don't think that's my biggest success. My biggest success I would say is understanding the person in front of me. And by that, I mean, I really dove into the science of real estate. Okay. I like numbers. I like the math side of it. Don't get me wrong. But the science of real estate and dealing with the psychology of it as well really helped me flourish as an agent. So by that, I knew I had to meet people where they were at in their real estate process. And for me, that became analyzing their personality profile. So I really dove into DISC personality profile.
Right.
And that really helped me catapult my career.
Got it. Okay. So, all right. And so basically you're good with meeting people face to face. A lot of people get nervous and, are afraid to meet people face to face, but that's something that you go after.
Yeah, because I don't mind hearing no. I'd rather hear no than no, I'll call you back or let me think it over or it's something I can think about. I go into the meeting, whether it's a buyer or a seller, saying, we're going to know at the end of 45 minutes whether or not we're a good fit to work together or not. And that's it. Like, I'm going to know, like, at the end of this conversation in 45 minutes, if we're going to proceed and sign a listing agreement or not. You're going to find another agent. And I'm okay. And I think that's the toughest part as agents. I'm okay with that blow, the no from the other
No,
side.
I mean, well, they miss out on a great agent at that point.
Right, because I know my value, right? I know what
Right,
I bring to the
100%.
table. If they're not seeing it, whether that's through social media, on paper, or even in person, then again, I'm okay with it, and I think it's their loss, not mine. And it's someone I'd rather not work with. If you don't want to work with me, I definitely don't want to work with you.
I mean, and that goes back to saying, okay, in that situation, what have you ever experienced it, like, not, I'm not going to say a failure, but like a trip up in real estate where you wish you could do a redo, like do it over one more time?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely happened, especially in the beginning before I understood disc. I
Okay.
remember one specific interview with a seller potential client was, oh, I wish I had that one over to do over again. I would have asked different questions, but I
Mhm.
didn't have a strategy or an agenda going into that meeting as to what I wanted to accomplish.
So, okay, so you weren't prepared, basically.
Right, exactly.
Right. So you always have to have a strategy and plan in place when going to meet potential sellers or buyers or investors. Period. When you go into these meetings, what are, like, when you're analyzing a property or looking at a property, say, hey, Jennifer, we want to work with you. How are you? What do you consider when evaluating a list price for a property? Are you going into that listing appointment with that already in mind, the list price, or you coming out of that meeting saying, okay, hey, let me take a look at the numbers and get back to you on it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely educating myself as to comparables that are sold.
Okay.
And I'm in New York, so it may be different, in different parts of the country. For me, I primarily look at the zip code and the school district. Schools here on Long Island are pretty huge for a lot of buyers. They want to make sure they're in what they call the right school district,
School
and
district, yeah.
right meaning whether it's a small classroom size, test scores are greater, things of that nature that they're looking for. But schools are super important. So I really look at the school district to make sure to get the comparables that are really finding that right number for that seller.
Okay, so school district area. Now, distance wise, when you're analyzing comps,
Mhm.
comparables, are you going out a mile? Because out in California is, we look at a half a mile, then go out to a mile, but we really don't go further than a mile radius of
Right.
comp because it's pretty much dead at that point.
I
What?
try I try to keep it with definitely within the mile, but
Okay,
here on Long Island, since we're so compact,
yeah,
every 10 to 15 blocks has its own feel to it. I mean, everything kind of changes or switches, and that's so I try to keep it within a 15 block radius of the house. That could be
15 blocks.
difficult, obviously, within the last couple of years, given
Okay,
the low amount of turnover rate that we've had in sales. But that's what I kind of look at. I've noticed that I've been broadening things to get more houses, more comparables into my comparative analysis.
got it. And then as far as the market in Long Island, what I'm hearing a lot of people say, like New York in general, property taxes are crazy.
Crazy, yeah,
It is
crazy.
it so crazy that you would say majority of the people that move out of New York is based because of the property taxes, or just
Um, I would say since COVID, I would say 80% of my sellers have moved out of state.
80%?
80%.
Wow. And
Yeah.
you know where they're moving to?
Delaware, Georgia,
Wow.
Virginia, Florida, and the Carolinas, of course. So staying on the East Coast, but definitely heading down south,
Down
right?
south.
Including myself at times. um, Because of the property taxes. I
Right.
mean, the property taxes here in Long Island, I would say, 12 is an average now, and they'll go up from there, depending upon obviously the square footage and location.
12 is the average.
I would say that it's probably higher than that, but in some of the lower or smaller neighborhoods, I would say that 12 would be an average. I mean, I could tell you on my house we pay 22. But you cross the border right into Queens, and I just took a listing actually yesterday where the top taxes are 5,000. So at times, some people are actually moving back to Queens and the
Mhm.
city, the five boroughs, to reduce the taxes. But here's the thing between Long Island and New York City, right? In New York City, you'll pay more of a higher price value,
Okay.
but low taxes.
Lower taxes.
On Long Island, you're paying a lower price value, but higher taxes. So it becomes this kind of wash
Okay.
situation where your mortgage payment is typically the same.
Okay. And I have another question besides that, but tell me this, because I'm trying to wrap my head around this, especially for people on the East Coast, Midwest, dealing with snow.
Okay.
How the heck do you guys do open houses during the winter?
I know what I do. But, when it's luckily enough, we didn't have any snow
Okay.
this winter here on the island or in the city. Um, I hire some guy to come shovel my seller's walkway, to make sure that the house is prepared in that sense.
Okay. That's
Um,
that's a good little value add.
it's a little value add. So one of the value adds I added in the winter, get your driveway and your walkway shoveled. In the winter, I'll mow your grass. I'll get your grass mowed. So a
I
little
would
value,
hire you.
just a little small little value add that I add, but it works. I mean, there's no you just bring boots, and you have to have your buyers walk in and take their shoes off. It's no big deal. It's kind of expected here. There's still lines around the corner.
Right. Okay. And that's what I was saying. So even in the winter time, you still have lines outside lined up in the snow.
So last weekend I took a buyer out, and I knew it
Yeah.
was going to be a 35-minute wait because of the price. It was a very low price for the neighborhood it was in. And sure enough, we got there 5 minutes before the open house closed, thinking I would be able to walk right in as it was ending, right? No, we had to wait 35 minutes for them to open the door. It was pouring, raining out, to get back to the weather situation. I mean, it was horrible. It was horrible to get to the location where the open house was. And it was just horrible standing there, with an umbrella and your boots on. You go in very casual, not dressed up. Let's put it that way.
Right. And that kind of leads me back to my other question is you're more of a listing agent, correct?
Yeah, I mean the listing is what kind of transformed my business. Absolutely. I do work with buyers. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
They're typically mostly on referral or family friend based, I would say.
Got it. So when you're doing these open houses for your listings, you're having during the winter you're having the driveway or the walkway cleared. When you're having people come to their open house, right? And let's say they don't have any representation of another agent representing them. How are you turning those potential prospects into closed transaction or into another transaction if they don't like that house? What are you doing as a strategy for that?
Constantly following up. I
Okay.
mean, there's no other way about it. I usually ask them, even there, if they think they're a good fit for us to work together. I'd love to stay in touch. Usually on Monday and Tuesday, I'm sending them a text message. On Wednesday or Thursday, they're getting an email with homes that are similar. Hey, I saw this other house in the same neighborhood, same school district. It might be a good fit. What do you think? Something like that. And just staying in contact. If there's if it goes beyond that, I put them on a drip email campaign with new listings as they hit the market, which I'm sure a lot of agents do, and just kind of staying in contact with them. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised how many agents don't follow up with any of those leads.
Right.
So, I mean, that's a good. a good thing to do is follow up with them constantly after the open house. Give them certain areas around that house with the school districts, all that stuff. Market updates, basically, right?
Sure. I mean, there's so many CRMs that people, obviously agents can utilize. I know we've
Right.
spoken about, in the past, you and I, KV Core,
Yeah.
how key it is,
Mhm.
which I don't have down pat yet, but
Nobody
it's
does.
always for me a work in progress. But
It's
um,
always work in
but
progress.
I have my own system that has been, generating leads and business for me that I want to handle at this time as well, right? You can grow your business, but are you ready for it? Do you have the right systems in place in order for it to grow?
Yeah. So, and that's another question for you is your system. You pretty much systemized everything, and that's why you're a top producer as you are right now. You have systems in place that you follow every day, correct?
Right, exactly. And that's the hardest part, I think, about real estate, especially for new agents, kind of moving forward in our conversation, is
Yeah.
getting those right systems in place. And listen, you're going to come across hundreds of agents who have different systems that work for them, right? It's got to
Right.
be the system that works for you as the agent. My system may not work for you, and I'm okay with that. I know I have a proven system because it works for me, and
Right.
that's all I need to be okay with.
Okay. And that's good. So since you've come into the real estate business,
Mhm.
how has the real estate market changed since you began? You started 12 years ago till now. How's it changed for you as in your eyes?
Well, I've only experienced, right, a rising market.
Okay.
So since
Oh,
2012.
right. Yeah.
Right. So I've never gone through this kind of, little bit of wave that we've got going on now. And I have to say, it's definitely has, unfortunately, I don't know how I allowed it to, impacted me somewhat emotionally in that sense. So I haven't gone through that. So I'm experiencing it now. But I've seen my shift right now. I don't know what happened, but a lot of manifestation here in these last couple of weeks.
Okay.
Um, so what has changed, I think, has been gosh, I don't know what really has changed. I'm just a go doer in
Right.
that sense for me. But real estate has changed in the sense in, oh, how buyers are educated or receive their information about homes, or sellers, as a matter of fact, as well. I think what's changed in that time is, um, your Zillows and social media was just kind of emerging. I feel like as a platform for realtors, um, or for consumers to get their information.
Right.
So not being an expert anymore, where the consumer thinks that they are the expert, has kind of been the change. And one of the objections, that has been difficult at times to overcome in an interview.
Yeah. And so with that, like when you're prospecting leads, how has technology changed from when you first started prospecting to now? Because I know there's a big difference now, especially with AI and all that stuff. Is it
Sure.
a big shift for you, or is that
Um,
something that you're
I
accustomed
kind of kept to my old methods,
to?
and I've shifted a little bit in using some AI, but I wouldn't say no too much. I think the social media aspect of it has definitely been a game changer for a lot of agents. I wouldn't say that that's my go-to platform, to drawing in new business though. But it has been, and I've spoken to a lot of agents who have say that it has been one of their most successful streams to bring in new business, new clients.
Got it. And then for you, are you an investor? Do you invest in real estate?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why we go into it, right? We don't just want to be an agent forever.
100%.
And if you're not taking advantage of those opportunities, there are plenty of ways, which I think as new agents that we don't really know about, that you can become the investor, of the property. So I was able to become a I'll have a mentor who just kind of took me under his wing
Okay.
and showed me really how he analyzes properties and what he does, and become a partner of his so that we're able to fix and flip and fix and hold a few properties as well.
So okay, so you have you got a mentor to show you kind of the ropes of investing, and he's kind of like a business partner at this point.
Yeah, at this point he's definitely a business partner.
Okay. And
That's
and
because he's
and
my husband now too, Lawrence. But that's,
hey, that's good. That's there's no problem with that.
but
So
yeah,
he's got you in the business of investing. So for most real estate agents just coming into the industry, they're watching a lot of TV. They're seeing HGTV. They're seeing $1 million listings, and they think it's easy as it is on TV. They get intrigued by the cars and the big houses. For new agents coming into this industry that are hungry, what advice would you give them just starting out?
find a coach, find a mentor,
Find a
really hook
coach.
really hook up with someone who understands real estate, um, how to speak with people, how to translate your message and your value to someone else. What that looks like, feels like, and sounds like. The paper side of it, the administrative side of it, let it go. Let someone else handle it, and don't. Another word that I would say is don't be afraid to let things go, right? Let someone else who's better at an area that maybe you're weak in take control over, or let them handle that side of it.
Right. And I would say like a lot of agents don't acknowledge what their weakness is or know what their weakness is up front.
Sure.
So I agree with you. Find a mentor, um, get a coach
Right.
up front. I agree with you on that. They're going to help and guide you, hopefully the right way, as long as you got the right coach, right mentor, right?
Sure.
How
Utilize, one other thing I would just add to that is utilize where you're coming from. Maybe you're coming from a different background, career wise. Utilize that background
absolutely.
to help you in real estate. My background's in education, so I didn't have a problem standing up in front of people and giving them my proposition and what I wanted to present to them. That was the easy part for me. The hard part for me was closing the sale. That I didn't have. So I geared more towards a sales coach as opposed to just, a realtor coach.
So let me ask you this. Your first year in real estate, how difficult was that for you?
Super difficult.
Was it?
It was traumatizing.
Yeah.
But I had a good mentor, right? My mom
Right.
was my mentor, so I followed in her footsteps, and I knew, I was listening to it for so long growing up as a kid that I had some skill set set inside me, right?
Mhm.
And I'm an athlete. I played in high school and college, so I'm a natural like go getter, right? I just want to achieve and win all the time. So that drive was easy for me, but not for a lot of agents who may come from a different background. But hearing the word no in the beginning was super difficult. And it wasn't until that I hired the sales coach that I realized that you want a no or a yes, and that's it.
That's good. I mean, I know a lot of agents, their first year, that's pretty much it, that's their make it or break it year, right?
Mhm.
A lot of agents don't make it past that first year. And I would say mentor and coach is huge.
Yeah, and that first year is really the learning process.
Right.
Enjoy that time, right? Don't think of it as this is a business. If you're not coming into as a new agent that this is not a business and you're not coming in with a business mindset, then yeah, you're going to be part of the statistics where 85% of new agents in the first 2 years leave the business. That's going to be you if you don't have a business plan in place.
There it is. Jennifer, thank you so much for this time. Where can people find you at on social media?
Sure. My social media, I love Instagram these days. So I'm at jennifer.tucker369. That's my Instagram handle. And on YouTube, I am at Jennifer Sino Tucker Real Estate, and you can find my videos there.
Awesome. I appreciate this time. This is Lawrence King with Building Top Agent with our top producing agent, Jennifer Tucker. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. I hope you
Thanks,
enjoy
Laura.
it. And you
Great.
guys take care.
Hey, can I give your listeners a free gift?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, they can download my book. Become a rock star real estate agent, 7 steps to make 100K in your first year. I'll send you the link and maybe we can include it in the notes here.
I'll include it in the notes on here.
Okay,
we'll
fair
definitely
enough.
do that. Appreciate it. We'll talk soon. Thanks a lot, Jennifer.
Take care.
Bye-bye.